Season 2, Episode 8 of Arknights, Perish in Frost, Fuyukomori, Kaerimichi, Touin, Kiro. The finale is upon us, y'all. It's been a journey a year in the making, but we've managed to limp it to the finish line. I've reached the goal line, and I am not ready. Would you believe me if I said, I'm not ready? I know. I say it enough, but I truly mean it. Every time I say it, but doubly so, no, triply so, when it comes to whatever will happen in this finale. Because call me crazy, I don't think we're getting a happy ending. I don't think everything will resolve by the end of this episode. By the end of Chapter 6 of the main story. By the end of Episode 8 of Arknights, Perish in Frost, Season 2. And it scares me. Straight up. Because I can only predict two things. Frost Nova going ballistic and using her arts, thereby causing her death, because she is at her limit. More than likely, we will have a rematch with Amiya. Quite possibly Blaze, because she did make the comment last time about seeing what's stronger, her heat or Frost Nova's cold, fire versus ice. Other than that, I don't know what I'm getting into. I don't know what I'm getting into, and it scares me. I am a bundle of anxiety right now. And I made the mistake of rewatching episode 7 just before this reaction. So the feels hit me all over again. I am emotionally vulnerable. So I might cry, and it all depends on what happens, how hard the emotions hit. But it's not like I wear my heart on my sleeve or anything, right, guys? It's not like I get emotionally invested in the stories I watch or get attached to characters and care about them to extreme degrees. Doesn't happen whatsoever. I'm excited, straight up. Because I have been loving Season 2, but I'm also afraid to end Season 2. Because Wait Nights begins. Granted, I do have a bunch of content I can watch in the meantime, including trailers, events, lore, music, and whatever else I want to cover, including K's Daily Doodles or Closure Secret Files. But we have to conclude Season 2. So before we hop into the episode, shall we talk about notes? Because from last time until now, I've added 8 pages for a total of 91. With this episode, it is very, very likely I will hit 100 pages of notes for Arknights alone, including Season 1, Holy Nightlight, Quasar MLG's The Lore of Arknights, and various theories and other one-off content I've decided to record via notes. It has been one hell of an effort, but I find it truly rewarding. So, let's go over notes real quick, and then we will hop into the episode. So last time was the penultimate episode. We had a flashback to flash forward scenario. We built up to episode 6 conclusion. We were at the POV from Rose Island at the Abandoned City plate. It was between episodes 2 and 3 before Swire took them to Chen. I did want to mention Frost Nova's Stay Frosty line. I didn't comment on it previously, but I like it. It's punny enough. It shows a bit of heart to the character, and I love it. It was our 3rd encounter with the Yeti squad. Soon, we will have our 4th encounter. Unless you want to count it as a 5th, because Blaze technically had a 3rd encounter with the Yeti squad. Watching him die very, very brutally. I love Blaze's dramatic entrance. Got the drop on Frost Nova. I love the colors between Blaze and Frost Nova. The red versus blue. It was so cool. It looked phenomenal. And it gave me so much hype. And if we have a repeat of that, or it's taken to the next level with this episode, I ain't ready. I do say that a lot, don't I? Blaze did realize how bad Frost Nova's Oropathy is because she was coughing. Someone did point it out to me. I didn't mention it in the moment, but it was fairly obvious, even with some hindsight. But watching the scene, It's not hard to realize, especially with how many infected Blaze is around and has become friends with. It would make sense she could realize at a dime how bad Oripathy is in an individual. We got Doctor and Frostnova buried underground together. We have Amiya, the Doctor locator. She could feel his emotions. The negotiations with the Yeti Squad, temporary truce / ceasefire. Gotta save their most important loved one. That's what's truly important. Follows Rhode Island's creed and values. Talk it out. Only fight when necessary. I do like that they still didn't drop their guard until the truce was confirmed. Very nice. Wasn't a foolish or naive act on behalf of them. Yep, the report of Alex's death, Season 1 consequences. I do love that it still matters, even into Season 2, and quite possibly into Season 3 in the future. Did the Yeti Squad get along well with Skull Shatterer? Did they see him as a little brother? I like the what's there to apologize for. Your life was on the line, the warrior mindset. The reunion are monsters made by their circumstances, and the same can be said for Infected, who join up with them. Reunion and Rhodes Island team up, I did predict it, but it was very brief and not in the circumstances I thought they would be. I do love that we humanized the Yeti Squad. It really made them feel more like people and less like enemies, less like villains. And it really hammers home that we are monsters. We are products of the circumstances we find ourselves in. Not necessarily just how we were raised, but what we experience even into adulthood and beyond. It becomes harder to see them as monsters, as cold-blooded and heartless. Even they like to avoid unnecessary fights. Yep, ceasefire. Rabbit from Rhodes Island, thanks for hearing us out. 100% this will mean a lot to Amiya going forward, because it proves not everything has to be a battle, and it truly aligns with their creed. She wants to talk it out. She wants peaceful resolutions. She doesn't want to fight. She doesn't want to kill, but she will when absolutely necessary. But it does hurt her nonetheless. Frostnova would 100% act similar to save them. Episode 2 versus Episode 7's perspective differences when it comes to the Yetis is peak. It actually does blow me away with the characterization. We got some solo Doctor action, lack of Amiya presence. We had him comforting and worrying about Frostnova, the whole daddy, don't leave me, obvious trauma, obvious nightmare. It's really nice that even in a situation like that, even when he's almost already nearly been killed by them, he still has enough human compassion to care about someone else, even his enemy. And I like that a lot. We fight to save lives, not to take lives, and maybe not free Amnesia Doctor. You seem freezing. Frostnova's body temp from Oripathy. I won't kill you for now. That makes us even. If help does arrive, one of us is going to die here. Normal thought process for enemies in this scenario. Frostnova's favorite is feeding her a piece of candy. We're not cuddling for warmth, unfortunately. It was drawn very explicitly. I was not ready for Frostnova and Doctor scenes, I'll be honest. Be careful not to touch my skin. The candy isn't poisoned. It's horrifically spicy. Tallulah made them. It was used as a trick and prank for Doctor, and even the Yeti Squad, but they no longer fall for it. The Yeti Squad look up to Frostnova as their older sister, regardless of age. They've lived together since they were kids, like a family. They were born within a labor camp within tiny mines and Ursus because of the very Russian attire. Their parents were killed by lottery. They survived the day they were supposed to be killed. Boldrocus T is Patriot, Big Daddy, Papa Patriot. He's a former hero of Ursus. He rescued Frostnova and Yeti Squad as children, became their adoptive father, and of note, when it comes to Frostnova and Boldrocus T, how they view the reunion has drifted apart, and he would stop Frostnova if she were to attack Tallulah to get revenge. He would side with Tallulah, which is very interesting. Why did you join the reunion? A thoughtless question. Tallulah and Frostnova were once true friends. Tallulah was completely powerless when they first met. She spoke idealistic nonsense, which is a very strong parallel to Amiya, and it might explain why she is so fixated on Amiya, because she sees her past self, her younger self, her idealistic self in Amiya, as I hit on in the previous reaction. Come with us with no deceit in her eyes. Now everything has changed. Tallulah plans on turning Lungmen into a city of infected. I called this several episodes back. I can't tell you what episode, but it was a theory I came up with involving the city plate. I don't know if I'm 100% accurate and it will involve the city plate. Only time will tell. Maybe it involves the sewers. Hmm. What is that engraved stone that Frostnova has? Is it a gift from Patriot? Is it part of his armor? Is it from the mines? Military attire Tallulah is from the Season 3 visual reference. Is she Special Forces? Military? Police? Because she's highly decorated. I like that Doctor's eyes lead Frostnova to believe he won't become another executioner, and that it's good to doubt yourself. Also, what was Tallulah's critical point? What caused her to change? Because one day everything changed and she was no longer the same person that Frostnova knew, that Frostnova was friends with. So what happened? What happened? Touching Frostnova causes frostbite even through clothes. My body's cold goes beyond even winter itself, which is a cool ass line. She can no longer feel cold or warmth from the air. Candy allows her to feel brief warmth via the spiciness. Oripathy has become severe from arts use. I don't have much time left, whether I can use them or not. Doctor worries about Frostnova even more now. Yeti Squad is a true family. Unlike any other reunion group, the closest would be Foss Squad, the Phantom Crossbowmen. Rescue successful for both. What a childish bunch. Jessica, Meteorite, Frostleaf are now headed to Rhode Island's landship for treatment. Frostnova gave Frostleaf special medicine to deal with the burning pain of frostbite. Next time we meet, we will be enemies, but not right now. That was some excellent fighting, Rhode Island. Come to Rhode Island, Frostnova from Doctor. If you do, you and the Yetis can receive treatment. We can resolve this without fighting. Then try and beat me. If you manage to, I'll consider it. Death flags galore, but that is genuinely one of my favorite scenes. I really like the power of it. The what if situation it creates in our minds. Unfortunately, it doesn't come true. Goodbye, Rhode Island. I hope we never meet again. Hey, Yetis, let's get a drink next time, Blaze. We formed that bond, that connection with each other, so it's going to be harder to fight each other. Now we switch to Chen's POV, the plan to drag out the Blackhawks. Officially, they don't so much as exist. We'll leave a record of their actions. Chen is 100% prepared to be sacked for this. Swire and Chen appeal directly to Lin for assistance against the Yeti Squad. Lin is lying to herself. She wants to protect the slums. Lin and Swire are childhood friends. Does this include Chen? Lin will rebuild the slums with Chen, make them a place everyone can live together, whether you're infected or not. Lungmen is what it is today because of all the people it welcomed in. That's why it can't afford to lose anyone else. I really like that line. We had a peak face from Lin. Blaze scouts ahead for the Yetis. Please be safe. Yeti Squad saving Reunion infected along the way. Phantom Crossbowmen are the name of Foss Squad. They rendezvous, reveal his fate to them. Avoid fighting the Blackhawks at all costs. Blaze 2. Frostnova seals off the road to buy time, alerts Chen of their location. Frostnova's at her limit. One art's left, presumably death soon. If not one, maybe 2 or 3, but she is at her limit, and with all the flags we've set up, her death is very, very likely. We can't call off this operation. The Yeti Squad stays behind to buy time for other squads to escape safely. Left unconscious Frostnova and the Kara Foss Squad. We want Sister to be together with Patriot in the end. Don't touch her without your protectors on. Goodbye, Sister. It's been fun. We'll see you on the other side. Oh, my heart. As long as there's still reunion, we can't call this off. Rhode Island never had the right to ask to cancel the operation. This battle must be fought to protect Lungmen and the slums. No, this is a war. A war that is only going to rob everyone of what's important to them. Whoever planned this is sitting on the sidelines. I love that whole exchange. Chen has to talk with Ami after the war is over when they go grab a bite to eat. Will she ask to join Rhode Island? Or is she going to ask for Rhode Island help in assisting rebuilding the slums, perhaps? But with her getting sacked, potentially, more than likely, it would make sense if she asked to join them. I wonder if Hoshiguma and Swire would follow after her, or they would stay in the organizations they are currently in to maintain stability and security. The last drink together with the Yeti Squad. Raise morale. Sorry, Rhode Island Kitty. Guess we're not having that drink after all. Na Zedrove. It's an Ursus cheer toast, or it could be specific to the Yeti Squad themselves. I do like the different languages and the slang they will use, like the Lungmen cuss words from a couple episodes back between Hoshiguma and Chen, or Chen and Swire. Blaze's desperation to save the Yeti Squad and then the slaughter of the Yeti Squad versus the Black Cloaks and LGD, it broke my heart. It was gut-wrenching. I think it is honestly one of my favorite, yet most painful sequences of animation in Arknights. from when they toast all the way until the final stand and death, where she watches it happen, hearing the desperation, it is an incredible scene, start to finish, even if it does break my heart. Judicial censors from Yan, the higher-ups, very discriminatory against infected, or is it one censor and two guards? I wasn't entirely too sure about that, but I could see either. Censors praise Wei for his performance, for wiping out the reunion in one day only. Was Yan going to intervene or depose him? Fuck the blonde censor. It made me very angry. Why are you working with the likes of them? Rhodes Island. Shouldn't all infected be dealt with the same death? Peak Angry Blaze. Chen bites back and mocks the censor's inspection, praises Rhode Island's efforts and contributions comparatively. Allow me to rephrase. Are you enjoying this farce? Calming and stopping Blaze also helped her stay composed. Frost Nova will 100% go ballistic when she wakes up. Rhodes Island pulling out for now. Depression Nights, rest in peace, broke my heart. It's a very fitting ending song that plays, especially just title alone. That was a phenomenal episode. It left me speechless. Its speedrun made me like the Yeti Squad, and I really do love Season 2's efforts to make the reunion feel human. I do want more development for Lyn in the future. The second half of Season 2 has been incredible. Will Frost Nova die normally or crystallize? God, I love Arknights. And then on to extra information before we hop into the episode. So this information comes from my community across Patreon, Discord, and YouTube. Project Red is explained in Il Syracusana, or Cusono, side story. It's also a Texas-ish side story. Rise from Ember is Season 3's epithet. In-game dialogue options for the candy are all basically very spicy. Anime chose option 3, horrifically spicy. Anime left out Frost Nova's bet with Doctor. It boils down to you die either way, depending on who digs them out first. Which, personally, I'm not too broken up about this bet being left out, because it would only further nail home her mindset and the situation, but I feel it also doesn't add too much to the scene that it feels like I'm missing out with its exclusion, with its omittance. It's nice, but not something I would prefer in the anime, so to say, and that's just my 2 cents as an anime only. I don't feel like we lost anything of serious value. Who knows? It could be relevant in this episode. This was the second time Blaze has had people die after promising to drinks, so she is going to be traumatized. Hot Cat can't catch a fucking break, y'all. Censor is playable. Arknights players know her true identity. They never revealed it in the anime. Cute, happy stories do exist in Arknights. Collab with Monster Hunter. Rides to Lake Silbernhersee. Very likely butchered that. Apologies. So Long, Adele. Lone Trail and Babel events are the biggest lore dumps to date, outside of main story, obviously. Yetis are the biggest bros, and I 100% agree. Yeti Squad and Phantom Crossbowmen get along super well. Doctor's first big MC moment comes with this previous episode. He is now less NPC-like. How do I feel about Wei now? With the censor reveal? I would be hypocritical if my emotions and my thought process towards him didn't change at all. Because, in a way, Chen is in a similar boat, and we all know how I feel about Chen and what I said about her last time. How her hands are tied, and I can understand where she's coming from and whatnot, even if I don't fully agree with her actions. It is to a lesser extent with Wei. I am still very, very upset with Wei, do not get me wrong, but I can't bring myself to 100% hate the individual. Do I believe he would still do this if Yan wasn't coming around? Undoubtedly. He wants to keep himself in power and keep Lungmen running, all for the good of Lungmen, and he is emotionally manipulating Lyn to do his bidding with the Black Cloaks. But I feel he would take more of his time and be even more thorough when it comes to it. So, I don't hate him nearly as much for... I love the character, do not get me wrong. I hate some of his actions, and I can't condone majority of what he has been pulling. But in a way, he is just like Chen. His hands are tied. Higher-ups from Yan are making their moves. And only he, who deals with them, knows how much trouble it would be if they fully intervened. So that is my current 2 cents on Wei. Should I react to the extra Frost Nova lore video if my moderator, my content filter, Ken, approves it? Some Yetis do wield katanas, i.e. the big guy. Yeti squad names: Frost Nova, Petrova, Nesty. That's all I could glean from the episode when I was going back through it. My reactions are apparently well thought out, amazing, in-depth, well-researched. All I do is yap, y'all, and write excessive amounts of notes. But if you enjoy it, hey, more power to you. The city plates are multi-layered, which includes sewers and whatnot. It makes sense in hindsight. I shouldn't have been as surprised as I was, but I got caught up in the moment, y'all. Yank and suck balls. Very fitting final line we can use to end the notes review, huh? Because I honestly feel the same. And with this, we are done with notes. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. So, before we hop into the episode, if you want the full version, it'll be over on my Patreon, link down below amidst my social media platforms. Follow me on them, help me grow my community. Follow me on Twitter, join my Discord, join the community, join the hive mind, talk about Arknights with fellow fans, help each other out with IS and other hardcore game modes. It is highly recommended, because not only do I talk Arknights there, I talk multiple other anime series there, or manga, or gaming. And it is also the best place to interact with me, to ask about updates. Plus, I do give Discord a fair amount of preferential treatment, and with every new member, the hive mind grows stronger. So join the community. But I won't force you. When you're done following all my social media, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell to be notified when I upload next, and shall we hop into the finale for Season 2 of Arknights? I'm scared. So, in 3, 2, 1. Well, the very first frame involves Frost Nova waking up. Alright, this is off to an amazing start for my anxiety. I'm shaking. I'm shaking. So we're at a land ship, probably picking up the Yeti squad bodies to bury. My heart just stopped. I forgot to breathe. I forgot to exhale. All I did was inhale. I'll be completely honest. I completely wrote off the fact that Kelsit could show up at any point in time to say hi to Doctor or Amiya. I know what went down in episode 6. I ain't forgetting anything. But it just slipped my mind that she could just show up. I know she is very important to Rhodes Island, but it caught me so off guard. I don't think we're going to get any other action when it comes to Kelsit this season. But if we do, if we see more monster, I'm going to scream. I'm going to scream. But I also like more of the ex-wife and doctor interactions. Ooh, that's a good line. Only the most dangerous of commanders would train soldiers who do not flinch even in the face of death. That goes hard. It also feels a bit more respectful, a bit more praising, versus how she commented about Tallulah's leadership style when she was talking to Crownslayer. Unlikely to interfere with them. Option of ceasing instant intervention. Nope. They'll see this through to the end. Still keeping him at a distance. Holy shit, Doctor! You know better than I ever wanted to. You will never... Just as who you were once never afforded me any. So she is holding a grudge, even though she realizes he has amnesia, but I think she's also a bit worried that he'll regain his memories and return to who he was. So by keeping him at a distance, it allows her to avoid any further heartbreak or any further broken promises or broken trust. I understand that. But it's really cool we're actually having a one-on-one conversation like this, where it feels a bit more like they're not necessarily equals, but Doctor is more outspoken versus responsive back in episode 1 of season 2. Is he gonna pursue singing? But it means a lot coming from her, who can also sing an arts incantation. You gotta leave more people behind. Alright, that's making me cry. I'll let them know when I see him. Faust, the Yeti Squad, fellow brethren of the Phantom Crossbowmen who have been lost to the Black Cloaks, fellow infected, and now even Frost Nova. So many promises. That is a powerful line and a half. Oh my god. Yep. So we're gonna have Frost Nova versus Rhodes Island. Yep, the fight. We're doing this only with us 4. Well, 3, because Doctor's not a fighter, he's a strategist. He refuses. Let's fucking go! Dude! Ever since last time, he feels even more like a person. And I love it. I also love that his voice is a bit stronger. Just the casual destruction of the drones. Do you know how much those cost? Repulsive dissociation. Oh my god, she's gonna crystallize. Repulsive disassociation. So, it forms like a well, not even just a magnetic shield. Like an orbit around her that both repulses and attracts, I'm going to assume. Unless those are crystals from her body where they're repulsing them, but maintaining like an orbital projection, circumvention of her. If it's coming from her body and those are actual crystals, oh my god, imagine those being ripped from your flesh. This is also one hell of a set piece to fight in. Prepare for every outcome, but hope for the best. Plan for the worst. Oh my god! This looks so clean! Oh my god, the colors! And how fluid that movement! It's like she's dancing! No, 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 no! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! Oh my god! Guys, 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 guys! I'm gonna hyperventilate at this rate. I got my emotional support Pikachu. It's not for crying right now. It's just because I cannot physically handle the hype. Frost Nova floating. The red eye. This looks incredible. It looks immaculate. Everything is kicking off. It's all progressing so quickly, but I don't feel rushed. It feels natural. But everything is happening so fast, I cannot keep up with it. Alright, I'm good. Halfway? Huh? Oh my god! What? She split her power between all of them. Was she giving them like a fragment of her body that they could use as a conduit? Because you can use infected bodies as conduits, as mediums for your art. Was she giving them shards of her oripathy that were coming from her body? And they were using that. But with them all dead and no one else using it, all the power converges back on her. In a way, it would also reduce the stress on her, so to say, because she's using less power, so it wouldn't progress her oripathy as fast. But now with it all coming back to her, everything is gonna kick off like that. It's gonna go into hyperdrive. She's going to speedrun the last of her life. She's gonna burn out the candle flame. That is her lifespan. That is her infection. All to have this battle. To give him a proper fight as a warrior, as someone who respects them, and to honor her fallen comrades. Have I mentioned Arknights as peak? Have I mentioned I love this show? Have I mentioned I love Frost Nova? I'm afraid to continue just because I don't want it to end. Straight up. Oh yeah, and Amiya, since she can feel her emotions. Burning, freezing wrath. Oh, I feel like we're underprepared. I no longer have to express a winner within me to spare my team. The rage of winter coming out. That smile! I saw that smile! Release the ring! Suppress it! She's gonna freeze her hand solid! And it froze the rings. She's gonna have to shatter the rings to get them off. You have to go all out. Oh my god! Alright, this is the best fight scene of Arknights. And I really like episode 2. This is also the coolest Blaze has looked, even including last time! It's insane how powerful she is, even at close range. Still appealing to her, yeah? Oh, this is gonna get even more painful for Blaze. Ask the questions you don't know who to ask. Keep contemplating what it means to fight. She's also asking these questions herself, but she is passing on that advice, that knowledge to Blaze because she is going to be dying. Oh my god! You will never defeat me, much less Tallulah, the way you are, yeah. Having that compassion can be a weight that drags you down, but it doesn't fight for anyone. Yeah, we all fight according to our own beliefs. They don't need anyone to lead them. Oh my god, what a line! A beacon of hope. I swear I'll join Rhodes Island and fight alongside all of you, if you can survive this. But I don't think she's gonna survive this attack, per se. Not Amiya, but Frost Nova. Their creed! Their creed. That is my creed. This is a different song. No, it's a different part of Lullabye. Not even reaching her. Ayahi Takagaki, my god. Rockabye. Is that the name of this one? Oh my god, the black ice. My god, the way this is progressing. This scene is incredible. Amiya put a shield above all of them. Oh. And her strength ran out. Still have no explanation on that. It shattered. Was it meant to be a conduit to help her power? Wait a minute. Wait 1 minute. What is this mark? What is this mark? That doesn't look like frostbite. It could be the ice. Is she infected now? Did Greythroat get infected? Because this was a lot of originium in the area. Mainly through her arts. But she also had her erypathy projecting itself out. Disassociative, after all. The repulsion aspect. Is Greythroat infected now? The fact the life has faded, the color from her flesh. We're having one final one-on-one moment because of how important Frostnova became to him when they were trapped before. What did I say? I fucking called that! Put an end to her and save her. Free her from the suffering. The one walking through them. She can touch him without giving him frostbite. That's how... It's right now through the clothes. He's not getting frostbite. Her erypathy has reached basically a critical mass point where it's no longer just freezing people. She's gonna crystallize. This is not okay! Stop making me break my heart! That hug for Petra is not fair. I don't think we could have gotten a better VA than Aiehi Takagaki for Frostnova. Even if for an instant she joined Rhodes Island, it hits different when she says doctor. Are we gonna have Doctor eventually tell her final words to Patriot? Will Doctor confront Patriot? Considering how much she means to Doctor now? Now you also know the true weight of life in your hands. Amnesiac or not, it is a heavy burden to bear. Especially when you form such a connection to them. Oh my god, Yuki Kaida! What shit has Lungmin been pulling in the sewers? She has to see it through to the very end, no matter how heinous. Fuck right off! I hope you die, you son of a bitch! Holy shit, Amiya. All the bodies? Leader to leader. Is this an infected farm? Yeah, they're pulling out. We're having a special ending. I think this is Aiehi Takagaki's song. Yeah, she believes now in Doctor because he was so resolute. It's taking a lot of power right now not to actually full sob straight up. It's kind of been a building emotion. I've teared up here and there, yes, and I've had some emotional outbursts, but it is truly coming to a head now of all times. I think it also helps because we have a special ending song sung by Frost Nova, Ayahi Takagaki, and I love her VA, but also the line from Greythroat, she can now understand the pain of infected. When you harken back a couple episodes, 5, when we had that whole discussion of she doesn't differentiate between people, she doesn't normally see the infected suffering as greater or lesser than her own with what she's been through, and then the possibility she might have been infected with this clash against Frost Nova as well. And then also Blaze talking about how Doctor is now a commander she could put her life on the line for, that she could fight tooth and nail for, because of the look in his eyes, because of how resolute he is, how he wants to see everything to the end. Plus the conversation between Blaze and Frost Nova, the advice she gave her. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask questions even if you don't know who you're asking them to. Holy fuck. Yep, no more than pawns. The cunning are sometimes the most dangerous. You hid the truth from even the LGD. There's a shit ton of originium down below. In crystallized infected, that's where they've been tossing them. It's because I see you as a person. The difference of ideologies are not chess pieces. They're not pawns. Exactly. I am really loving this. Facts. Fucking facts. Only taking the side of the infected. We fight for everyone who lives in these lands. One of our people died. Is this the second? Yep, the second condition. She's gonna reveal the existence of the sewers to Amiya. Tallulah disappeared. Shay, her father. You were there alone. You off Tallulah's old man and our mother. Oh, fuck off! Heading straight towards Lungmen. Yeah, Ursus is making their move. Identification code? This city belongs to Ursus. God, what was his name? Hold on. So there's nothing after the credits. I need to look at my notes real quick, because this harkens back to episode 5. Okay, so in episode 5. Was it episode 4? No, I think it was episode 4. Yeah, Ursus refuses to respond to Wei and Lungman. All the time we can afford, we don't have a choice. Corrupted by the reunion, inside job, no contact with Chairman Witt, no messengers could reach him. The start of something much bigger. If Wade lost back then, Lungman would be under a different name and be another stepping stone on the path to Ursus homogeny, the leadership or dominance especially by one country. If he lost, the Duke of Kashte would be ruling the city. Are they using the abandoned city plate to declare war for the sake of Lungman? Because the city plate moved all the way over to Lungman. It was abandoned. It was a lot of their wealthiest. And it was not a pure coincidence. It was used as a trap. So, are they going to use it to declare war? And they're on a collision course. Maybe they're also going to argue that Misha and Alex's bodies also are their property, so to say, and they're right, and by not releasing them, even when they have died, it is a violation against some international rule or against human rights, per se, and they're going to use this to their advantage. But if Ursus has, quote-unquote, fallen, if they are fully corrupted by the reunion, or at least a chunk of the government is, they don't need to listen to regular rules. They could do whatever the fuck they want. But we're on a collision course, which would be insane in of itself to see. But I don't think we're truly going to have both city plates collide. Unless it actually does. But that would cause a lot of death. I could see it happening both ways, actually. Straight up. I could. So, let's just get it out of the way first. I talked about how I don't hate Wei as much before the start of the video. I need to retract that. I need to rescind that. I need to reverse directions. Wei was there when they dragged off Tallulah, when the Duke of Kashte and their mother was offed. He was there with the Black Cloaks, and he is trying to gaslight Chen into believing her memories are false. Don't rely just on your memories. They can become quite twisted. Ever the snake with the silver tongue. The cunning are the most fearsome. He is protecting his position, his viewpoints, his stance on the world, on the people. And I have nothing but respect for Amiya, who is challenging him at every single turn. I don't know what the second condition will be. It also could boil down to, you can't refuse this. We agreed. Even though, obviously, it is up to the interpretation and agreement of both parties on whatever the second condition will be when it is revealed. Which we have still yet to reveal it. But Amiya even saying, people are not chess pieces. People are not pawns. Calling him out on his bullshit. Even saying, we don't fight just for the infected. We fight for everyone who lives in these lands. We are the hope of the people, so to say. We want to make it so everyone can live a good life. Even if we cure neuropathy, if we do not stop guiding people around by things they can't see, they can't understand, they don't know about, and using them as chess pieces, conflict will never disappear from this world. And that line, that whole conversation hits immensely hard. It has been incredible to see Amiya grow as much as she has since Season 1, and even during the course of Season 2. Our Black Rabbit has a backbone and a half. She has fangs. She bites back. And I love it. I love the warning she gave to the censors. She is done with their shit, but she still did it in a polite enough way to not cause too much of an issue. But she returned their warning, their hostility, their spite right back at them, where they could go shove it where the sun don't shine, for all I care. We've gotten so much lore in this episode. So much happened. And I was right, not everything concluded. Chapter 6 of the main story might be over, but the arc of the reunion is far from complete. Next season is Rise from Ember. If this season was cold as ice, the next one will be straight fire. It'll bring the heat, considering it's going to also focus on Tallulah. Who is that? One of our people died. Doctor. I've joined Rhodes Island. I can call you that now. Even if only for a few moments. We had Frostnova officially join Rhodes Island, and she will be with them, at their side, in spirit, from now on. She has put her faith, her belief, her everything into their ideals now. And even if she can't fight with them physically, she will be there spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Last time was a really good moment between Frostnova and Doctor, and I can understand why or how she became so important to him because of the bond, the humanization, the sincerity shared between them while they were trapped together, and even the promise exchanged between them. If you manage to beat me, I'll join Rhodes Island. And it was Doctor's first big non-NPC moment. But this episode topped it. I'm gonna be honest. The entire exchange between Doctor and Frostnova alone, when she is dying, when she is in his arms, when she can feel his warmth, when she's no longer causing frostbite, in the last moments of her life, she can feel warmth again. She can feel the comfort of another human being. And Doctor can feel the weight of life, can feel the burden of death, can feel the burden of responsibilities of being a commander for Rhodes Island, of involving himself with the infected, with the war, with the fight, with operators and others' lives. And the way his voice, I don't know if it's intentional or it's pure happenstance, when you compare it to season 1 or even early season 2 Doctor, it is way more resolute, it is way more normal tone, normal volume instead of soft spoken. It's still a bit on the softer side, do not get me wrong, but it truly feels like he found his footing, that he's evolving, that he's growing into a person, even in his amnesiac state. And I really like that touch. I really, really like that touch. Let's get it out of the way. How were my emotions when it came to this? I'd say they speak volumes for themselves, but this was beyond gut-wrenching. This broke my heart. I needed Pikachu, my emotional support Pokemon, and plush to help me handle my emotions. Mainly the hype, because there was a lot of that. But the sadness hit like a brick. The entire conversation between Blaze and Greythroat, or Blaze and Frostnova, I've harped on it already, but just know the dialogue was already at a 10 out of 10 for the show. I feel like this made it an 11 out of 10. The writing is incredible. The OST's phenomenal. When it comes to Fleeting Wish, the special ending song that played during this finale episode, sung by Ayahi Takagaki, ow my feels. It was beautiful. I love Ayahi Takagaki as a VA, as a singer. Primarily, I know her from Chris from Symphogear, and she does phenomenal work as her. But this is so different from Chris's roles. At the very least, it's also the most recent role, or one of the most recent roles, and it stands out. It was an incredible song. It served as phenomenal music for all of these discussions taking place as these heart-to-hearts, these emotional character moments, showcasing the growth of both Blaze and Greythroat, or Amiya and the Censor, Doctor and Frostnova, Chen, Swire. It was an utterly fantastic song. I do wish we had some custom visuals with it, but I get why they just played it over the scene so we had more time as well. So when it comes to the entire fight scene between Frostnova and Rhodes Island round 2, easily my favorite fight of the entire series in all 16 episodes. It was animated immaculately. The colors were incredible. It left me speechless. It gave me so much hype. We knew it was coming. We knew it was building to it, but it didn't lessen the impact. The fact that Frostnova had been splitting her power between the entire Yeti squad, so she was suppressing it in a way that Amiya was, and it was slowing her Eripathy progression as a result and weakening herself. It also made episode 2's fight even the more impressive, considering that wasn't her at full power. And when we saw her at full power, shit hit the fan. Everything popped off. It went from 0 to 100. Nah, actually 0 to 1,000. This was one of the most impressive animated sequences in Arknights to date. As an anime only, I can say that with absolute certainty. And a lot of those moments also come from Season 2. There are some really nice moments in Season 1, but almost none of them hold a candle to several of the big climactic or emotional moments we got in Season 2. Chapters 4 to 6, in my personal opinion, are better than chapters 1 to 3. And my only experience with them is through the anime. Flaws and all. Omittance and everything. Season 2 has been nothing short of incredible. Even with my issues with episode 4, I rate this very, very, very highly. Season 1 was good. Season 1 sold me on the world, on the characters, on the plot. It gave me so much world building. It gave me so much mystery. But Season 2, they took that dial set at 10 and raised it to an 11. Everything went up a notch. And I know there are complaints. There are fans of the mobile game who aren't happy with certain production decisions, and I can understand that. But I am also speaking with recency bias and a year's worth of effort of recording these reactions. When I say this, I am not understating it, or I'm not even stating it enough in general. It is one of my favorite all-time mobile game to anime adaptations. Season 2 will go down as one of my favorite sequel series in general. Probably top 25, maybe top 30, but could be even as low as top 20s. I would need to honestly sit down and have some serious thought, because I haven't fully listed them out in years. When it comes to the episodes themselves, where would I rank them? With recency bias obviously coming into play, the order could change as I sit on the episodes more and watch reactions or eventually rewatch the season. Episode 8, Episode 2, Episode 6, Episode 5, Episode 7, Episode 1, Episode 3, and then Episode 4. I think that'd probably be the best rating I could give it right now. Episode 8, the finale, was nothing short of incredible. It is, with all of the right emotional beats, what I would probably consider to be a masterpiece, because it hits all the right notes. For all I know, it could be not a perfect adaptation, and I am obviously viewing this with bias, with a very recent impression, but I don't see any flaws in the episode in of itself. Plus, the fight was incredible, and it makes me truly regret not watching it on time with y'all, or taking as long as I did. If anything, the fight alone validates the year's worth of efforts, the build-up, the amount of notes, the delays, everything. Frost Nova is one of my favorite characters, plain and simple. I love everything she stood for. I love her backstory. It is absolutely painful that she has to go. I am glad we didn't see her fully crystallize and disintegrate. It could happen eventually, off camera, but that's neither here nor there. She is now an official member of Rhodes Island, posthumously as well. Peak Nights, plain and simple. Peak Nights. And with Season 2's conclusion, Wait Nights begins. Season 3 is confirmed. It is on the way. It should air this year. And personally, I don't mind if we need to delay it or push it back, because I would rather they take their time and provide us with high quality production versus rush to push it out and ruin the quality, ruin the production, ruin the project, and worsen our impressions, worsen the experience overall. Let them take their time. Doctor is a definite highlight of the episode. Straight up. Like, I wasn't familiar with his game before episode 7 like this. I mean, I had an inkling, yes. But the fact he was shoved into the forefront, naturally no less, it doesn't feel out of nowhere. It doesn't feel inorganic. And he stole the spotlight as he did on multiple occasions. And the fact he was able to inspire such faith from Blaze and call upon such a backbone from himself, or even confront Calcit about trust, and then obviously be reprimanded by Calcit and told he needs to work on bearing the responsibilities of Rhodes Island and earning it. There's the whole history between them. But it is actually very, very impressive how far he has come. But I can say that about a lot of characters. Greythroat, Blaze, Amiya, Chen. Chen alone. Oh my god. Chen is also one of my favorite characters. Amiya is also one of my favorite characters. I have a lot of favorite characters, y'all. Do not ask me to rank them, because fuck if I know. I am just emotionally drained. I went through it. I went from hype, sadness, hype, sadness, hype, sadness, to anger, to disbelief, to shock, to even a little bit of just, I guess, how do I say, feeling betrayed by the fact they left us off with a cliffhanger as they did. At his 2025. Oh my god. I am so glad I decided to watch Arknights back in fall 2022 when it started airing, after a very brief recommendation from a friend of mine who had only seen episode 1 at that time. It is a unique experience, plain and simple, and I would not trade it. I would not redo it. I cannot get enough of Arknights. Straight up. I will be watching the Season 3 teasers, and then whenever the official trailer comes out, I will watch that. Any trailers after that, I will not. I will not take notes for any of those, because just like with Season 2, I don't want to fully remember what happens in the teasers and the trailers, because as time goes on, I will forget a lot of those scenes. Sometimes I will get a eureka moment and remember something, but I want to share my reaction, but also not fully ruin my reaction, per se. I will be covering lore content, events, music, fan animations, other animated properties like Kay's Daily Doodles, Closure's Secret Files, Lee's Detective Agency. Whenever I have time, bear with me. I cannot believe we are at the end of Season 2 of Arknights, Perish in Frost, Fuyukomori, Kaerimichi, Touin, Kiro. It has been one hell of a journey. And we finally got a glimpse, not fully an answer, into the sewers. Presumably, it's where they've been throwing the infected whose eripathy has progressed past a point, and they crystallize. But this stench, it implies dead bodies. So either it's where their eripathy progresses, they've been just tossing the random dead bodies, or it's also where they've been slowly but surely wiping out all political enemies, all infected, and tossing them into the sewers where no one goes. Normally, no one's even allowed this deep in. I do really appreciate that Swire was absolutely trying to protect Chen, because she knows her in and out and how this will affect her. But Chen made a commitment. She intends to see everything, start to finish, until the very, very end. And the fact she was also like, do I need to draw my sword? Do not make me draw my sword. It just shows how she is so determined. So massive W to Chen, massive W to Frost Nova, massive W to Amiya, massive W to Doctor, massive W to Blaze. I was, admittedly, a wee bit disappointed. We didn't get to see one of her rings shatter or be taken off. I'm referring to Amiya to release some of her power. Obviously, it would progress her eripathy, which is bad, yes. But, come on. I want to see it happen. It's bound to happen, and it's bound to be cool. And it would be the ultimate show of respect to Frost Nova. Frost Nova using a distraction to then get close to Amiya and freeze her hands in the rings. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. Plus, again, the red eye aesthetic. The fact she was floating and emitting so much cold. And the only reason they survived is she ran out of steam. Is she hit her limit and was beyond salvageable. Beyond savable. Out of everyone, I would have loved to see her fight Tallulah. Out of everyone, I would have loved to see her fight Monster. But that's just more what-if scenarios. It would have been cool nonetheless. Defeat Tallulah and save her. Save the real Tallulah who is wandering through the mud. And I do like that I was also right about me calling it that Tallulah sees Amiya as her past self, as a younger version of herself, when she was more idealistic. The set design also, the entire fight in, I guess, not fully sewers, but like a parking garage level per se, that was peak. The entire fight is downright incredible. I am simply blown away. I also do really appreciate that Rhodes Island is taking control, taking possession of the Yeti squad to give them proper burials so their bodies are not used for heinous purposes or used as collectors or trophies and whatnot. Just wow. 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 I also really appreciate that Amiya can recognize the growth in Doctor and recognize the importance of leaving them alone and was willing to go on ahead without him. Like, normally she's glued to his side. She wants to keep him safe, but she also respects his autonomy, respects his decisions, respects his words, beyond just being a commander and a bodyguard. I really like that. Even just mentally reliving the entire solo exchange between Frost Nova and Doctor. Even Frost Nova calling him Doctor. I'm crying. What an incredible 8 episodes. It has its ups, it has its downs, but it is a journey I am glad to have say I have been a part of, that I have undertaken. I do not think I will be ready for season 3. I don't know if we'll hit the same emotional beats as season 2. I am also curious if Patriot will be more involved in season 3, and if Doctor will have a one-on-one with him talking about Frost Nova, because obviously the Yeti Squad wished for her to be with Patriot in the very end, but she was with Doctor in the very end, so maybe Doctor will take it upon himself to talk to her father and reveal her fate, reveal her final words. And how will Patriot react? Also, what is up with that stone? It shattered. So was it part of like his body? Was it a conduit? Was it like a heat stone? But she said it was fake. So I don't know. I do not know. And again, I will give y'all a PSA. Do not answer my questions. I like to talk aloud. I like to theorize out loud. I like to ask questions. But do not answer anything that is plot relevant to the main story, to specific characters, revealing stuff like race or their history or their interactions with specific characters. That is all spoilers. Do not give me those answers or guide me in the right direction. I understand hype. I understand the passion and the excitement of watching someone react to a show you love to death, to a property you care immensely about, and I can understand gushing and oversharing. But please, I am an anime only who has never played the game in any meaningful capacity. I have written 91 pages of notes covering up to episode 7. And I'll probably include, either in this video or in a future either season 3 teaser or season 3 episode 1, a final count, after everything is said and done, of my total notes for season 2 and everything else. But I don't like being told answers or given them. It's not fun when you build the puzzle for me. I like putting the pieces together myself. So please, show a little respect. Use your common sense. If it's stuff like telling me about a country, I think it was Laterano, where it's home to all the Sancta of the Angels, or a majority of them, and their religion is guns, that's perfectly fine. Or telling me that toasters run on magic rocks or Reginium, that's fun, and that's perfectly fine. But telling me stuff like the true race of Crown Slayer, or even the name of the censor, or information that has yet to be revealed in the anime, or in any content I have yet to cover, just don't. I like getting revealed answers in a reaction, so I can share my reaction with y'all. I do not like being told it off camera, or in general, normally. It's different if I'm watching something like Quasar MLG's The Lore of Arknights, where it goes into a bit of pre-main story Doctor, Calcit, Kazdale, Teresa, and whatnot, because you're getting my honest thoughts with my anime-only filter then. And I am okay with that. But please, just use some common sense and be careful. Be vague. With my mind's eye, I have a tendency to think critically and come up with insane theories most anime-onlys shouldn't when watching this show. I've called several plot points in this season alone, so it's just highly recommended to be cautious, to be safe, and to be vague. And then even more vague. Y'all don't know how much I can pick up. So before I end my reaction to Season 2, Episode 8, I do want to give y'all a task. It can be all the way back in Season 1, but also including Season 2. What were your favorite moments that I had during my reactions? Or your favorite episodes that involved my reactions? What were the best parts? Were they hype? Were they sadness? What did y'all think of my reactions thus far? And how much I have grown, how far I have come. I would love to hear your thoughts on all of those reactions down below, as well as What did y'all think of my reaction to Season 2's finale? Did you enjoy it? Did you react similarly? Are you excited for Season 3? Are you happy that I finally covered the finale after so much time? A year in the making? I am slow. I'll fully admit that, and I will apologize for that. But at the very least, we made it to the finish line. When you're done leaving your thoughts down below about my commentary, my reaction, my theories, my discussions, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell to be notified when I upload next so you don't miss any future Arknights videos, as well as any other anime I post, because I do cover a lot of anime. Mainly on Patreon, but I do plan to bring a whole lot of them over to YouTube. Eventually. I'm not the fastest at it, plain and simple. If you want the full version, it'll be over on my Patreon, link down below, amidst my social media platforms, Twitter, Discord, Patreon, obviously. Follow me on them, join all of them. If you had to pick any, Discord especially, because the hive mind grows with every new edition. And y'all are very, very talkative, and I appreciate y'all so much. And I give Discord preferential treatment more often than not. It's also the best place to reach me, the best place to talk with me, get updates, or even see what shows I'm currently watching, because I post my thoughts there first and foremost. And I would just love to have you join that community and chat me up, because while I may not seem active on YouTube or Patreon or Twitter every now and then, I do get notifications, I do read most comments. But Discord is my bread and butter, per se. And I want to see that community grow. So do me a favor and join it if you are willing. No pressure. Except all the pressure in the world! Jokes aside, when you're done checking out all my social media and leaving a comment, a like, and a subscribe, and the bell, I want to thank you all so much for watching. This has been AlduicS. This has been Arknights Season 2, Episode 8, Perish in Frost, Fuyukomori, Kaerimichi, Touin, Kiro. Season 2 was incredible. And I don't think Season 3 will be any less so, unless I actually shit the bed. But if you're excited for any of the future content I will be posting, whether it's Arknights related or not, then I implore you to stick around, and even let me know. But this has been AlduicS. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace.